This video was made possible thanks to EA Game Changers. Well, hello there, it's Kriint and welcome to another tiny house. So we did it. Yeah, we did it. We reached the last tier, which is a micro home, as you can see. 32 tiles to be exact. Now, you might be thinking, so you built a house in 32 tiles. Did you cheat? Yes, of course I did. Thank you for asking. I used the roof, you will see it like I will put it in any second now, as the living room. Now I could actually fit it inside the house, but I don't know, I liked it as it was. And also I double cheated because the gurus have mentioned that when you do diagonal houses, the tiles count kind of differently because they round up to the nearest, they round down actually to the nearest number. So essentially you also kind of cheat on that matter. So double cheating today. Feeling good. Solid start. So I didn't really know what I wanted to do with the third build, which is obviously tiny house. And by doing like the whole save file, I haven't done a house in island living Sulani, to be exact, in the volcano location, which is like the off-grid house, but I went there and I saw that it was like 30 by 20. And like I had this idea of, making it off the grid and having an outdoor shower and being surrounded by plants and being all cool and stuff. I saw it was 30 by 20 and I was like, nope, I can't landscape this much. So we ended up going in this location, which is in the main town of Sulani, and I'm really happy with the end results. So again, my only idea was to have like a house surrounded by plants and make it like more tropical. Now you might be thinking, oh, it's a 30 by 20 house. Oh, no, a 20 by 20 house, but it's only 32 tiles. 32 tiles. How long this took you? Please, it couldn't have taken you more than 2 hours. It's just 32 tiles. How long do you want to furnish 32 tiles? Well, 6 hours. 6 hours. Explain this to me. I don't know. Well, I do know why. But like, tiny houses shouldn't take this long. I'm so mad. I am so mad. So as you can see, one of the main reasons why it took so long was the landscaping. As you can see, I added plants. These particular ones are from Debug, Island Living Debug. And what I did was I used the tool mod, which is a recurring thing in the past 3 videos that all took me way too long. Cool beans, fun, yeah. And I manipulated them to be down the house, like where it's covered, essentially, because the house is obviously raised on stilts. I wanted the plants, to grow naturally, because, you would have plants like where the house is, beneath the foundation of the house. So I was like, I don't know. So I had this idea. And this, like, putting the plants there took so long. And then I had to manually take them, like, put them lower because they were obviously raised. And that took forever. And then trying to landscape everything, that took forever. However, like normally, a sane person wouldn't take this long to build this. First things first. Secondly, I would normally do like a screenshot every few minutes on the exterior and then show progression. I didn't do that because I didn't really thought it would take me this long, and I'm like, So editing it, it was kind of hard because I think obviously the whole raising things up and down is really boring. And also terrain paint is really boring. Like, you just go around with a paintbrush and you just paint. Really boring, at least for me. So I cut all of this off and I essentially left the basics in. of how I made the whole landscaping. So obviously, again, I said I wanted it to be a house out of the grid. And I had this little corner and I added the surfboards. I was like, oh, these look cool. These would go great here. I don't know why, I just thought so. And then I found this sign, which again on the debug menu. So I was like, oh, we could make like a store. Because I always love a challenge when playing the game. I'm not sure everyone's like that, but I personally do enjoy it. So like, I think it would be a good house for a fisherman, a diver, or like, someone who profits from the sea. And like, I added this cell table. I think it's really cute. Like, I really liked it. And I was like, okay, cool. As you can see, also, we have the hanging fish. This was when the fisherman idea came to mind. So I created like this cute little sell point area. I guess you could also make it like as a handyman, but generally, profiting through what you make or what you buy, not like an actual job. So yeah, I really liked that idea. And then I created another area which I felt like it would be seating originally, like what you're currently seeing. However, because the sitting area inside was it wasn't too big, but it was already big enough for a tiny house. It's where the roof is. I was like, yeah, it doesn't really make sense to have like two sitting areas, especially after outside I added lawn chairs. I felt like, you're in the island. Plus they looked good. So I was like, let's add them. It's fine. And yeah, I turned that area as an eating area. However, the house, because the off-the-grid trade doesn't work as I wanted it, and I'm sure many other simmers, like, things that should be considered off the grid aren't, and this annoys me a lot. I decided to not add the trade and not go based on the trade, because, someone might not even wanna play, like, the off-the-grid. Grade? No, that's not the word. What's the word? Of the grid, like, talents. So I decided to obviously add a tiny kitchen. I now also added a computer and a bookcase, because like I kept seeing other people say, oh, I made a 2x3 house and I fitted a bookcase, I fitted a laptop, I fitted a TV, I fitted a shower, I fitted a toilet, I fitted a sink and like a kitchen. And I'm like, okay, let's try and add as more amenities as we can. Also, I'm happy to announce that this house has a Murphy bed. Not because that was actually needed, because obviously I could not have used one, but because I really wanted to, and I was like, we must use them. It's the new thing. And yeah, I don't really think that matches the entire house, like, at all. But I was like, sure, why not? Let's do it. And yeah, the exterior, again, I wanted another sitting area here. I imagine I would love to sit like outside and smell the breeze and like the ocean. So I was like, more sitting areas. That's one of the reasons why I felt like it was stupid to add more sitting areas like here. So obviously, because it's more off the grid and natural and, more organic, I guess, I decided to add, obviously, laundry. It's a must-have. My bills, but, the basket, I don't know what that is. I don't even know how you call it. But, manually doing laundry. And, yeah, this is where the shower is. That's why I also added a water tower. So I added the water tower and I was showing the bill to my boyfriend. And I was like, what do you think? He's like, oh, what is that? Is that a water tower? I'm like, yes. He's like, does it gather water from the rain or like from the ground? I'm like, how am I supposed to know that information? It's like, oh, he looks at it, from the ground. Yeah, okay, good. Water source then. And I'm like, huh? I had no idea. Apparently because it has like this pipe, it gathers water from the ground. I'm like, I don't even know. So, I wanted the water tower because going with the whole off the grid challenge. I wanted honestly like a water tower that would gather the water from the rain, because like that feels more off the grid, right? I don't know if we have one. I don't feel like we do. So yeah, I added like the shower and the water stuff back there. However, here I had a big problem. As you can see, I have like a small space for the bathroom. And in the bathroom, I wanted to add a toilet and a sink. As you can see in the kitchen, we already have a sink. No, actually, before we didn't. Did we? I don't recall. I think we did. Yeah, we already had a sink. So I was like, okay, no, a sink for the kitchen, a sink for the bathroom. And then I went to the bathroom to try and make the, again, as you can see, it's one diagonal tile and a half, which is more than 1.5 tile of like normal tiles, not diagonal ones. And I was obviously convinced that this would work, as anyone would be. And it didn't. Again, I told you yesterday, which at that point when building yesterday's build, I haven't done that. I haven't seen what other people created. So another simmer was able to do a one tile full bathroom with a shower, a sink, and a toilet. I couldn't fit a sink and a toilet in 1.5 tiles. Like, I spent half an hour trying to configure that. And for some reason, when the toilet is anywhere but there, she can't use it. Like, if anything is not in the middle of that wall, they can't use it. And like, I was so mad because I was like, you could see me test it, and it was like literally in front of her. The toilet on the sink was literally in front of her. She would stand up the toilet and she would face the sink. And I'm like, okay, wash your hands now. And she's like, can't reach it. I'm like, I rage quitted, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Screw that. You're washing your hands in the kitchen and I don't care. So yeah, rage quitted. I used a very big bathroom, just like an entire tile just for a toilet. I want to like point that out. Which really mad, still really mad with it. So yeah, had a really good time with the bathroom. So here I realized, we don't have a dresser. We should probably add a dresser somewhere. And I realized also with this couch, because obviously this build is more, again, organic, tropical, Sulanian, is that a word? I wanted to go with a more brown theme and not as colorful. And I realized that this couch doesn't have a matching one. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm screwed. And I spent another 5 minutes trying to pick a couch, which in the end I was like, don't like any of this. So I essentially added together 2 pedestals. So yeah, also I had to playtest that, the bed works properly and everything. And I think this is it. So you will see a lot of pictures. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. This took me 6 hours and it was all landscaping. So you better believe that I took a lot of pictures of the landscaping. Like, you will see the shower again, because why not? Why not? I really hope you like this build. Like, I'm so proud of it. I also did some minor I wouldn't really say minor. I did some adjustments, because I found out that the gallery thumbnail was too crowded. Even though I really like the look of the build, I think when you see a gallery thumbnail, it needs to be more clear and like not too bare, but like decorated enough. And I felt like with all that stuff that was going on, the build was getting lost and they would be like, okay, this is a mess, moving forward. So I did some changes on the exterior based on that. And yeah, the build is currently on the gallery. I posted it on release time. And so are all the other 2 builds that I did. Essentially all 3 builds that I did. And yeah, this is it. Thank you for going to this tiny living journey with me. I hope that you have an amazing day and take care. Bye!